do you believe, because we were just kind of talking about that game, that would be a challenging opponent in the playoffs for the 49ers? Or would you prefer, like, if they had to go against like the Lions or the Cowboys, which team would you prefer that the 49ers face?
I would rather play the Lions.
Okay.
And the reason
Just because
is
Jared Goff, or
yeah, Jared Goff's over there. I know we could get to him. I know we could get in his head. So I'm looking at that. I think Dak Prescott is on a run. Since the Niners game, he's been on a run. Um, I think that team is
he's like,
good.
I'm tired of answering these questions.
He's
Poor
really
guy.
good. Niners like to hate. Niner fans like to hate on Dak because he's a Cowboy. But if Dak Prescott was a Niner,
They would have had a Super Bowl win.
no, not necessarily Super Bowl, but the Niner fans would be calling him a top 3 quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so like
He has
that's
like Brock Purdy's skill set, but more maybe. I mean, I don't know about to sit like. I don't know if we can say that because we haven't seen a large enough sample size of Brock Purdy compared. Maybe not a fair comparison, but I think when you think about how 49er fans talk about Brock Purdy, I don't think that Dax, at least talent wise, is lesser than Brock Purdy.
I
I
mean,
don't know if that's
looking at
slanderous to
Brock.
say. I feel like maybe there's people in the comments that are like, "What?" Because I know people hate on Dak, but just like
I don't
arm
think
strength wise and mobility wise, like he is a good quarterback.
much better quarterback than Brock Purdy. I'll say I know what you're trying to say. He has much better talent than Brock Purdy. He has a stronger arm. He's
Yeah,
just as
you're like
mobile.
less
Like
afraid. You're less
I know
afraid. Yeah.
you're trying to like tiptoe the line. He's a stronger arm quarterback. He has the arm. He has the size, the mobility. You probably just as smart of a quarterback in terms of processing ability. Like it is what it is, and I'm telling you, it's because he's a Cowboys fan that a lot of fans will say he is not good. If he was playing for any other team, we would be saying he's a good quarterback. He's thrown 17 touchdowns to 6 interceptions this year. He's pushing the ball downfield. Um, he's completing 70% of his passes, which is higher than Brock. He has
And he has
105
way less weapons, a way but like not as he doesn't have Kyle Shanahan, like all these.
So I'm saying like
I'm not saying I think
I
Purdy's
love that. I
great.
love Dak.
Oh look, the fans got so mad they muted you. They were like,
Absolutely,
"Stop
like
with the Dak love! Stop with the Dak love!"
I think he's a hell of a quarterback. I just hate that he's a Cowboy. Like literally, like
Yeah,
that's the only downfall on him. He's a Cowboy. Uh,
yeah.
but I think I would not rather I would rather play the Lions unproven, the Debo CJ Garner beef. I know who's
Yeah,
coming
that'll
out.
be
I
fun.
know who's coming out on top of that game. Like
That'll be
I
fun.
would guarantee a Niner win if we play the
Isn't CJ
Lions.
Gardner like on IR? Why is he? I don't even know if he's playing right now.
I don't know if he's playing right now either, but I just know I know how the Niners are going to react if they play the Lions. Like it's become like it's personal. Like for Debo and the Niners have Debo's back, so that's the thing that I
Yeah.
guarantee
They like
a
rally
win.
around. They
Like
rally
they
around him for
really,
sure.
the thing is the Niners like to be low key like to be instigators, and they like to back it up. Now, that's like their style. Like they like to play the underdog mentality, but the reality is they
Yeah.
like to instigate a lot of things. For example, Tampa obviously started practice a little bit earlier because they're in the East Coast. They're blasting Tony Montana. The Niners start practice. What are they blasting? Tony Montana. Like you don't tell me, sit here and tell me that our DJ decided, you know what, I'm playing Tony Montana today. They saw that the media saw that they were blasting Tony Montana out there. That's been a well-known 49ers song in terms of our days with Jim Harbaugh and that unit in the hit squad. Um, so they saw it as a personal jab. Like it is what it is.
I kind
They
of love how sports. I feel like that's such a big thing in sports. I did college athletics, and even we did that. Like you kind of have to find little ways to like get an edge. And
if
I
you're
like that because we're talking about we don't want the 49ers to play down to their competition. We don't want them to overlook Tampa. So if in their minds they're like, hey, this isn't that good of a team, they have to come up with these little jabs in order to get them, hype. If it works, then it works. If it doesn't, then I'm like, okay, come on. Like, you should. I understand. I feel like so many people have the opinion, like, you're a professional. You should just be able to kind of turn it on. But I always, when people say that, I always think, how do you do when you're performing your own work? If you have a goal, if there's some sort of, if we talk about Chase Young, if you have a friend, or if
Mhm.
you have, I'm going to meet this quota, I'm going to get a bonus. Or I was a teacher in middle school, and I was like, okay, like if this many of my students perform well, that's like really gratifying to me. And it does make you kind of having those benchmarks. That's why benchmarks exist, right? It
Mhm.
keeps your head in the game, for lack of a better word. So I like that the 49ers are doing that. I didn't see the Tony Montana thing, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, you got to be a little as an athlete. You got to be a little cuckoo, and what I mean by that, you got to find things that make you believe that the other person's talking shit. Like it makes you play harder. It makes it like you're trying to prove something. Like, hey, for example,
Did
if
you
someone
see they Bosa said that him and Baker like squashed the beef? Do you believe that?
I believe it. I believe it because it's
So
different.
annoying.
It's different. It's different when you meet someone and you realize like they're actually a cool dude.
Yeah.
Like it's different. Like right, like they chopped it up. They were at I believe it was at a camp. Talked a little bit. And they realized like you know what we're very alike. We're very humble dudes. We're very chill dudes. I planted the flag on the Buckeye because we played you guys and you guys kept whooping our ass a couple of years before, or whatever. We haven't been able to beat you guys. We finally beat you guys. That was a big win. It was more. To me. It was
Yeah.
more so. You guys were talking talk during the game. I finished the talk. I got the last laugh, kind of thing. So it's gonna be fun. The Niners are they're gonna be playing again, like you said earlier, against um, two very good defensive linebackers, Levante David, and the other. I cannot think of his name, but two very good linebackers who was also drafted in the first round. Um, it's all about how do they play, in my opinion, um, because their roster is led by those two dudes, um, Levante David, and I'm gonna get his name on the
Devin
top of my
White,
head right now.
Devin
Yeah,
White, or
Devin White,
yeah,
Devin
yeah.
White. Um, so when I'm looking at it is for me, it's all about the opportunity to not turn the ball over to those linebackers because those linebackers they're gonna punch the ball out. They're gonna do what they can. If the Niners win the turnover battle, like I said, they blow them out by 14 points this week.
I'm gonna ask you. We're gonna